What's up, everybody? It's Lawrence again, and we are back with another Casual Runners review. So today we have a shoe that originally released with the Breaking 2 initiative, which was hopefully a way for Nike and their athletes to break a 2-hour marathon barrier that has never been broken. They came really close. I don't remember the exact time, but I believe it was within less than 30 seconds for them to actually beat 2 hours. And the shoe that this was designed from never actually got released, but that pair that did get released to the public was called the Vaporfly 4%. That original upper had a mesh-based upper, extremely great technology behind it with the ZoomX, and it was the original kind of introduction of ZoomX into the marketplace. And so, what we have today is the updated version of that, which is the Vaporfly 4% Flyknit. So, obviously it's in the name. The main difference between this shoe and the Vaporfly 4% is the upper itself. I have run in these for, I'd say, about between 14 and 16 miles, and so I wanted to put it through its paces to give you guys a feeling of what this all means when it comes down to a casual runner. So let's start with the upper like we always do. So it's pretty damn obvious what the difference between this shoe and the Vaporfly 4% are, and that is this bright, crazy crimson, orangey red, or orange, whatever the hell you want to call it, is made out of Flyknit. If you kind of go through it, there are reinforced parts and stretchier parts. So if you look at it over here, near the toe box where there's ventilation, it's definitely stretchier, and you can stretch it a little more. Relatively rigid along the side there, and it gets rigid all through the back of the shoe as well. And it's definitely a little stretchier from a knit perspective when you get to the tongue, and you can see how far this goes out. It's for both breathability and flexibility. Engineered mesh was actually really good, but Flyknit, in my opinion, is almost always better, and the main reason is because it does fit like a sock. It's usually more breathable, and typically I believe it's also lighter. I mean, this shoe is extremely light. I'm pretty sure it's lighter than the Pegasus 35 Turbo. Not exactly sure. I could probably look that up, but I'm in front of the camera right now. I can't do that. If it's not lighter, it's very similarly weighted. You have any idea which is the lightest shoe of the group? Leave that in the comments below. So going to the rest of the upper, on the lateral side, you're going to see that huge Nike swoosh. My biggest problem with these huge Nike swooshes are when it extends down to the midsole, as you can see over there. And that midsole is painted extremely horribly. So if you look at it really closely, it just looks like it was kind of like stenciled in and kind of like dripped in, which I don't like about most of these shoes. You can actually kind of see some of the paint already coming off after, about 15 miles. On the medial side, you'll see the same over here, but much smaller. And on the back side, you're going to see a pull tab done in the same color as well as Nike Racing, which is written over here. Going into the midsole, you're going to see the ZoomX, the crazy soft ZoomX material. You can see me squish it down real good. And the entire midsole is made out of the ZoomX material. ZoomX, if you don't know, is the lightest foam that Nike makes. It also has crazy energy return for its lightness. It's designed for long distances. It's supposed to improve your stride and your efficiency by 4%. Whatever the hell that means, for your casual runner, which I am. It really is probably not going to do very much from a 4% perspective. This is for the elite of the elite to use. Also going to the midsole, there is a carbon fiber plate that you can see that runs through here. And you can actually feel it as you're pressing down on the different parts of the shoe. That's obviously to offer springboardness to the shoe. The shoe itself is really interesting in that when you stand on it, it feels like you're about to fall off a ledge. You can feel the fact that it's pushing you forward, and it kind of has a springboard motion, which is awesome. And you really sink into the shoe using the ZoomX. It's a really great feeling. I really can't describe it. I really just implore you, if you get a chance to run in these shoes. It's really amazing. Going over to the outsole, your typical standard outsole. The main issue here is going to be over here, which is exposed ZoomX. That's not great, but the other black parts are made out of rubber, and those have pretty good traction. Not the best traction in the world, but this shoe is not made for traction. It's made for long distance running. Also on the medial side of the shoe, on the very bottom over here, if you can read that, it says measured in the lab, verified with medals and records, and you do see the 4% mark over there, which is kind of sweet. So what are my thoughts on this shoe? From a casual runner's perspective, absolutely do not get them. They're $250. You're not going to get maximum efficiency out of the shoe. if you were one of the marathon runners or you are running a marathon, 4% is going to be huge for you, and I think you should definitely look at $250 for that type of shoe for race day, but you'll never be able to train in these shoes. After 15 miles, it's already starting to shred. You can't see it too well, but hopefully you can see bits and pieces of it. I actually tore off some pieces that were hanging off. That's only after 15 miles, and so I can imagine after 2, 3, 4, probably at most 4 marathons, these shoes are going to be shot. So you can't train in them, really, in my opinion. With that said, even though I can't maximize the efficiency, the way it feels on foot is absolutely amazing. You can't even imagine. You just have to put these on. I mean, like, you sink in and then you just freaking bounce. What is kind of interesting about the shoe is, from a performance perspective, amazing if you push it. If you're a casual runner like me who doesn't run fast and is just hoping to get to the mile marker or the 2 mile marker and just hoping for your best, this is not the shoe for you. And the reason is because we can't run at a pace where these actually make a difference. On walking, which I think is interesting, because if you guys are planning on using this for lifestyle and outside of running, also I wouldn't recommend the shoe. The reason is because the ledge feeling that you get, the same kind of that you would get from the Zoom Fly and that carbon fiber plate, you feel it here, but probably I'd say even more so because all of this is made out of ZoomX and not React, and so it's actually a much softer foam. And so when you sink into it, that feeling of being pushed off is actually a lot more prevalent in this shoe. So it's actually not comfortable to walk in. You just constantly feel like you're being propelled forward, which sounds amazing, but when you're just walking, it's just not, it's just too much. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions about this, leave them in the comments below. I'll probably run with these a little longer, but I just feel like it's such a waste for me to be running in these. But that is the Vaporfly 4% Flyknit. And until next time, peace.